We also got this is the bush meat. I'm not kidding you not. This is some of the bush meat that has been giving people Ebola and helping move Ebola right along there. I don't know. What is it? It looks like big giant rats. And she's looking like, bush meat goes right to my thighs. I can't eat it. I don't even know what accent that is. But, there's just a way of life over there that is very conducive to spreading disease. And it's not the same here, I think everybody thinks about the movie Outbreak and stuff like that, where, you get a little hole in your suit and you're going to get it. But again, no, it's not airborne. It's just fucking... that, and then here's some more bush meat. That looks good. What we got? We ought to open up a little bush meat place here in the States. See what happens. Open up some bush meat. Look at that. I want a leg. You can hold it. You can fight off people with that little claw at the back. Hey, get away from my bush meat. I don't even know what it is. That's a big fucking rat. They're eating giant rats. Damn.
Those are my people.
Ah, yes. Are they? It does look like they really don't do much preparation work to it. I would at least chop the head off, the feet, and then maybe a marinade, some kind of marinade. Let it sit for a day in a nice citrus marinade. Really get it in there. And then... why aren't we sending man grates to Africa? You can't cook on this thing. You're not even getting the nice grill marks on your bush meat. And do you know what a flare-up will do to bush meat? Forget about it. You want those patented slots that the man grate has. That's what I would do anyway. Does a man grate fit on a burning 55-gallon drum? Maybe we could recommend that to the man grate people. Because that just looks awful. That looks like when Big A tried to barbecue the other night. Yeah. Help came in, though. Swooped in and cooked up some steaks. Then we have, of course, the news is just going crazy with this story. This is from, I think, CNN? Yeah, this was CNN.
Cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls. This one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies
Texas,
and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls.
It's more serious than everyone would have expected.
Has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull.
They're calling Ebola patients ghouls now? It's terrible.
Since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, Gus?
No, we're all right.
You have cigars in his hat band.
Put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want it getting up again. All right, I got you.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those
I didn't hear about that.
We caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down.
Chief, as soon as you're finished, can I see you here?
Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem.
Well, just don't take pictures of them. They don't like their picture taken. They might swing at you. And then don't tweet about it.
If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well, in time, would you say you ought to be able to wrap this up in 24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. Mm-hmm. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardell, WIC TV 11 News.
That's great. I didn't know that it's getting a lot more serious than I thought. They've seemed to have taken the color off of the television too. I don't know why that happened. Doesn't everybody just want this to happen? Doesn't everyone really want this to get really out of control? You don't want loved ones to die. You want other people's loved ones to die. But you do kind of want this to get just a little more serious. You don't want it to end with one guy in a hospital in Texas that gets cured and then it's over. You kind of want all of a sudden, everyone's waiting for this. A second case of the deadly Ebola virus has been found. And that would just be like, here it comes. Here comes the fucking zombie horde. The zombie horde. What's that? That's who will save. Oh, look at that. We're in the outbreak suits. Yes, it's Keith, of course, me, and Rat. Well, we could do that. We're sequestered here in the house. I do have negative pressure bio fans all over the place and outbreak suits, a lot of guns. Not for the virus, for the people that will be turned into zombies.
This is the stronghold.
This is the stronghold. This is the Alamo. This is where you go.
Once the generator's finished.
Once the goddamn generator's finished. Keith, when?
They're digging the hole this week for the tanks.
Dig a hole? I won't be the fucking first, won't be the last hole I dug. Got a fucking lime.
They're digging the hole? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, also chiming in on this whole thing, I don't know if it's actually this episode where we have Ebola here in the States, but already the amazing, always amazing Jesse Ventura has chimed in about Ebola. And I think he's telling everyone to relax. But in his segment telling people to relax, he gets a little panicky. I don't know. He's Jesse. I just like hearing Jesse talk. The Ebola virus. Here's Jesse on the whole thing.
Stop the Ebola panic. The danger lies abroad, not at home in the U.S.
The danger lies abroad, not at home in the U.S. I'm Jesse the Mind.
Ebola hysteria is intensifying across the globe. The world needs to stop the panic and start working on solutions to help those suffering in West Africa. Today,
Jesse's just an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. He's just an idiot. You can't go into Africa and cure Ebola. Even with a vaccine, let's say, it would still be impossible. It's the living conditions that make the disease. Why do you think it hasn't just popped up here willy-nilly? It didn't just pop up in these civilized nations with proper sanitation. It didn't just all of a sudden go, oh, what do we got, Ebola? What happened? Where'd that come from? You have to be really stupid. You have to have no sanitary, clean sanitary conditions. You can't have any type of inspections done on what you eat. And that just breeds these wacky sub-Saharan African diseases. It's crazy. Crazy. So when Jesse says, we got to do something to, hey, move your little tin shack, right, up the hill a little more so that the sewage and stuff goes down and drains out in the lower part. You don't build your house right next to where the sewage is. And if I didn't have a sore throat, I would do a little of Sam Kinnison's old move to where the food is bit. But, ow. But Jesse, thinking that can't be taken care of. It just can't.
We welcome Robert Harriman to Off the Grid to shed some light on this Ebola crisis. He's the co-founder of the Global Dispatch Online and the editor of Outbreak News Today, and he's a microbiologist, so he knows what he's talking about. Robert, thank you for being with us on Off the Grid today.
Thank you, Governor.
The world is in this Ebola.
Yeah, you're going to be on soon with Jesse. When you come on, could you just call him the governor? All right. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. That's like when they go, when you call up, just say, love you, love the show. I want everybody to do it. When we finally get a call screener, I want them to tell everyone that calls, all right, look, we're going to put you on the hold. You'll be on with Anthony in a couple of minutes. Just sit tight. And remember, when he answers the phone, just go, hi, Anthony, love you, love the show. Got it? You know that's happening here. Call him. So when I call, I'll just be like, hey, Jesse. No. Mr. Ventura. No. You call him the governor. Yes, governor. Yes, Mr. Governor. You know, he retains that title through the rest of his life, much like the president. Shut up. Yes, governor. Hi, governor.
The grid today.
Thank you, Governor.
The world is in this Ebola panic right now, is in high gear. Is it as bad as they say it is? Should we all be that worried right now?
Should we all be that worried? No, there's no risk of a real global pandemic with Ebola. But is it as bad as they say in West Africa? Absolutely. They're saying this thing could go on for another 6 months or more. So this is really, really big.
They're saying, should people be panicking and very worried about the Ebola?
And the guy's like, well, no, but this could be really big. Because Jesse loves panic. He loves him some panic. That's what his show's about. And if he's off the grid, why is he doing a show? I like that occasionally goes, though, like he's off the grid. He's somewhere.
What do you think it is?
For the people of West Africa. All these countries are incredibly impoverished. They've all come out of horrible times with government instability, civil war, just conflict and strife. Their healthcare infrastructure is abysmal. No running water in a lot of cases. No electricity, lack of supplies.
How does Ebola start? What exactly is this? What is it that begins and then goes from person to person? How does it
Good
start?
Good question, Jesse.
Most experts say fruit bats in Africa are natural.
Fruit bats. That's offensive. I want to be called a gender-neutral bat.
Reservoirs for the Ebola virus, so they carry it without causing disease. Now they may be carrying a piece of fruit and they drop it and a kid picks it up and they get infected, or a gorilla or an ape. Ebola causes
Ding, ding.
I need a bell.
Ding.
I need a bell. I need one of those ding ding bells. I swear.
Same type of disease in non-human primates.
Are Americans at risk here in the United States? Should we be panicking now?
If you think about when you go to a hospital normally, even the smallest community hospital in the United States uses standard precautions against, they're going to treat every sample, every patient as if they're infectious. We know how to contain this stuff. We have the expertise. We have the protective equipment. We know what we're doing.
But what we know what we're doing... He's talking about when somebody with an infectious disease is hospitalized, though. You know, they take all the precautions, they do this. What about when you're just wandering around?
What about when you're out on the prowl, just walking around?
What about that? And you're contacting people. You're having some of that intercourse stuff. You're sweating. I don't know. That seems to me how that stuff spreads, not in the hospitals. I saw Outbreak. Very scary. Fucking monkey did that, too. Fucking monkey.
So the question is, if an Ebola patient arrived in the United States, is it possible there could be secondary spread? Yes. If I say it's impossible, I'd be lying. But it's so unlikely. It really is. And if it is, it would most likely be like the family or somebody like that. But we would contain this thing so quickly.
Well, Robert, and let's get this straight too now. Ebola, you don't catch that like you catch the common cold or that you catch the flu.
or the scabies, or chlamydia, or the clap? How do you catch the gonorrhea?
There's more to it, isn't there?
Yeah, there sure is.
There is.
The transmission of Ebola is not by breathing air. All right. So you have to have some kind of direct contact with blood, body fluids, semen, any kind of fluid.
Semen. I was a Navy SEAL. I dealt with a lot of semen. Get it? That's a joke.
Fluid like that, which would be highly infectious, or in a person that just died from Ebola, they are still infectious too. Now, Ebola is not infectious person to person until the person that has it shows symptoms, sore throat, headaches, fever, that kind of stuff. And then it progresses along the way until it can become very serious where you can have multi-organ failure.
But I think what people here need to realize is it requires the transfer of bodily fluids. You have to come in contact with the fluids of an Ebola person carrying the disease before it's ever going to get you, right? Somebody sneezes, you're not going to get it from a sneeze, correct?
Well,
not likely, no. Even if it hits the skin, it's not like the virus itself can bore through the skin. It's got to be a crack in the skin, a cut, or something like that, or the mucous membranes. So you're talking about.
This is exactly like zombie stuff. Like the zombies, you could get the zombie blood on you. That happens when you hack at them. Get the zombie blood. I don't think if a zombie sneezes, you'll get it. But if you get it on you and in you, like the blood, and I bet if an Ebola guy bit you, you'd get the fucking Ebola, lickety split. Or if it goes in your eyes or mucous membranes, this is like real type of zombie transmission of this thing. Crazy.
The eyes and the mouth and the like.
Is that the biggest misconception about the disease, is the fact that it is actually difficult to get it?
I think that's a huge one. Yeah, absolutely. That's what causes all the fear, that people think it's that easily transmissible. You would never see what's going on in West Africa right now if it came into the United States. Never, ever. The first outbreak in Uganda in 2000, 2001. And at that time in history, it was 425. That sounds like a small number compared to what we're seeing now. But that was the biggest outbreak we've ever had. And when that outbreak was finally contained and it went away, the Ugandan government got their act together. They learned how to contain. They learned infection control.
Uganda got its act together?
They learned how to communicate the stuff to the public, which is huge. If you can't do that, you're always going to fail. And they've had probably 3 Ebola outbreaks since, all with much dramatically smaller numbers each time. So they learn from the experience. And hopefully that's what West Africa would get out of it.
Right.
Are there other diseases we should be more concerned about?
In this country?
Yeah.
How about influenza? There's tens of thousands of people that die every year in the United States from influenza.
Yeah, exactly. And I brought up the point, too. I brought up drunk driving.
Yeah.
We lose 10,000 people a year to drunk driving, where in this whole Ebola...
It's a lot more fun to drive drunk than it is to get Ebola. Thank you, Jesse. I'll just leave you with that. Well, people, I hope I calmed your fears by letting you in on Jesse Ventura and his always credible guests that he has on his show.
What's the name of his show? Guilty by Association?
Yeah.
It's called I'll Sue Your Wife. Sue the wife of a dead man. Hi, I'm Jesse the Body. Only I have Mr. Brady's hair on my head.
That's cool. I need that background. I'm very big on the screen today. Yeah, I don't. Jesse, he had that other show on for a while that was pretty good. His conspiracy show, and he'd have people pull up in like a white van to interview him, like they were from the government or something. From the government, like me, I'm a fighter. So I guess we don't have to worry about Ebola. Is that what Jesse was saying and his friend? Because everybody else is saying that too, and I'm even saying it. I'm not going to be a panicky Pete about this one. I'll wait. We'll take a wait and see stance on this whole thing.